there, and welcome to Flourish TV. My name is Stephanie, and this is where I bring you business with a little bit of mindset. And I'm excited today just to walk through this time of year, something that I think is really important. I've talked about this on my podcast and other posts and things like that, but how reflection can help you as you look forward to what you want to create in the new year. Sometimes when we take those moments to pause and look back, it will help us really look at what's most important, where we want to grow, and what we can do moving ahead. And so I thought I would share a few tips that I use, some things that I go through to help myself as I'm looking back into this year and then looking forward to what I want to create. I think when we are in December, it gets crazy busy. Once we hit just past Halloween, I feel like the last couple of months just go super crazy, right? And so I think that's important to take this time before we even jump into all of the crazy. We're at the beginning of December, and I know things are starting up, but I think taking a little bit of time just to reflect now before things get too far into the chaos, it will help you really set you up to give you a peaceful season. But then also, as you look towards what you want to have happen in January, that you're preparing your heart and your mind now for the things you want to create and not waiting for a deadline, but we can start right now to prepare ourselves for the things that we want. And so I thought I would walk you through this a little bit, some things that I do. So most of us, we rush into January with, new goals, new plans, new ideas. But if we don't take that time to reflect, sometimes we'll carry confusion or clutter or maybe even some scattered expectations or too high of expectations. Anyone else do that? I know that I do. Reflection isn't about being hard on yourself. It's really listening to everything that you didn't do. It's about noticing things that did happen. Like how did God strengthen you in this last year? What grew under the surface? What maybe doesn't fit your season anymore? And what deserves to move forward into 2026? Reflection restores your clarity. It shows you patterns, and it helps remind you that really where God has been faithful, even in the places that felt slow or messy. So reflection is important. It's important because we want to make sure that we are looking back, really taking in everything that has happened, all the ways that God has shown up. And when we reflect, we are able to notice things that maybe we would not have noticed before. I know I had a friend once that they talk about they would review their year, or maybe it was a podcast, I don't know, but they would go through their camera roll and they would find things that they were grateful for, or ways that God has moved, or things that have happened as they went through their camera roll, the different things that you took pictures of. And I loved that idea of reflection because that reminds us, because I don't know about you, but I can forget sometimes what I did a couple weeks ago. And so this is a good way to overview and look at the ways that you have grown, maybe the seasons that you were in that you're no longer in those places. So reflection really will help you do that. So I thought what I would do is give you a few questions that you could use to reflect well. These are ones, maybe it'll take you maybe 10 minutes, but it will help you just give you a framework so that you know how to look back. Because you're like, well, what do you mean look back, Stephanie? So I will show you. So first of all, number one is what worked this year. This could be your habits, routines, projects, rhythms, a relationship, or choices. What are things that worked well? What did you notice? What can you celebrate? And I know it's hard sometimes for us to celebrate, but it's important. How can we celebrate and look back at the things that worked well? What are the ways that you grew? What are the ways that maybe something that you didn't expect really has flown through and you're like, wow, look at that rhythm that I've created, or that relationship that has grown. I know I have really developed some deeper friendships this year. That was one of the goals that I had placed on my heart, was to really start developing some better, stronger relationships. And over the year, I can look to see how those have grown. And I love that. So reflecting on that is important. Some other questions you ask in that reflective act is, what brought peace? What brought results? What helped your family or your business move forward? Okay, so that's all that reflecting back. The second one is, now maybe we're going to we've focused on the good, the things, the growth that we've seen. Now we want to focus on maybe some areas that maybe were difficult, or maybe felt heavy, draining, or misaligned. So, what felt heavy, what felt draining, or misaligned with where you're at right now? Not everything that's good is good for a season. Where did you feel resistance? What created overwhelm? Those clues matter. So not so we can be poo-poo on the things that happened or we didn't like, but maybe there are things that we have always done or we've pushed ourselves to do that don't align well with everything else that we want to take place in our lives. Or maybe they were good for a season, but not right now. Maybe there's a lot of resistance. Maybe you're pushing yourself towards something that really isn't right for you right now. Are there areas that have really created you overwhelmed? What are those? Why did that overwhelming thoughts happen? So what could you change? What could you notice that could be different, or maybe you just didn't feel alignment with where God has you or really where your life is right now? So this part is a little bit, we're easy to pick out the things that we don't like about what has happened, but I would encourage you to look at this, but more of a way of just how it could have affected your moving forward, and not such a negative look back, but what you could learn from those situations, those things that have happened in your life so that you can move forward. So that was number 2. And then number 3 is, where did you see God's faithfulness, right? This is a good one. This question will shift everything. It recenters your heart towards the gratitude, and it reminds you that you're building your life, and you're not building your life or your business alone, but God is there with you. And so we want to remember those God moments, the ways that he has showed up unexpectedly, the ways he's blessed you even more than what you could have imagined, and the times where he's been there in those really hard moments, or those moments where you thought, I think I might just give up. This is too hard. As you're building a business, believe me, I've had those days. Even throughout the week, I'll have days that are great. And then there's days where, I don't know if I have another day to do this, or I don't know if I have what it takes, but God shows up. And when I seek him and I recognize the ways that he's provided, the things that he has done, it realigns me with my purpose, and I have more clarity, and I can be grateful that he has been there with me all along the way. So recognizing that those areas will be great for you as you're reflecting back, because now you have all this information that you can now bring forward to your next year, to 2026, or even as you approach this month. If you've taken this time, you'd be like, wow, like these are areas that really I'm excelling in, and how can I serve more in that area? Or wow, God has really shown up here or there. How could I bless somebody else with? So it really inspires you to move forward as you do that reflection. So, one of the biggest things that I've learned is reflecting isn't something that slows me down. It actually, it will give that clarity. When you see what matters, you're not guessing anymore. You have that clarity. You're not chasing everything, but you're chasing those aligned, focused, and steady rhythms, the things that are really going to change your life or help you make the impact that you have on your heart to do. When you have that clarity, that peace comes, and you can approach the things that you're doing knowing that you are fully focused on where God wants you to serve, where he wants you to move. And if you're not in business, you can use these same principles as well. This will work for you whether you're in business or just in life, and just how we can approach the things that we know God has called us to do, ways he's caused us to serve. So I would love to help you do this without feeling overthinking or making it really hard for you. So I put together a little bundle. I put it together for kind of like a Cyber Monday extended sale. But I just thought I could put some tools together that help me to reflect well, help me plan intentionally, and step into my year well, and I would love to help you do that as well. So I have put a little bundle together for you. It's the year of, it has several different resources in it, and I can show you here quick in a second, but it has a year-end reflection, so you can walk through that. Find Your Flow worksheet. There's questions that will help you there. Weekly reset checklist. This is something you can use every single week. Daily focus sheets, maybe just a place to jot down things that are important to you, your gratitude, your top priorities. A priorities and brain dump workbook. So this is one, I don't know, but we hold all those things in our brains. And so we want to make sure that there's something there that's helping you align what's most important. And if we're holding all that stuff in our brain, then it makes it really hard to do that. And then a women's Bible Bible guide. And so this is only $17 for these resources that I bundled together. And I really put them really inexpensively because I wanted to make sure that it was something that was inexpensive for you to grab, but that's going to be of high value to help you. I want you to have that clarity, that time of reflection, and then the way to step into your new year with peace and calm and clarity and focus. And it just feels so much more freeing when you're able to take the time to do that. So I will show you here in a second, but just if you want that bundle, just drop bundle below, and I will send you the link to grab that. And if the reflection questions started something in you, write them down. Start thinking about this. How can you ask yourself these questions to walk into 2026 with clarity and peace? So let me move over here really quick, and hopefully my screen will show. I've had all kinds of difficulties, but I'm hoping that I can share the screen and me. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Awesome, looks like that. So just really quick, here is the end of your reflection. It has prompts and questions that you can ask. So lots of different resources in here, a lot of reflection, and even if you don't like journal, so text the answers to yourself. I don't care, but this is really going to help you with that. Another one is the weekly reset checklist. This will be something that will help you the ways that you want to pause and reflect, review your priorities, plan your rhythms, so organize your systems. This is just a checklist to help you. Some people love checklists, and this is going to help you with that, to start your week with clarity, peace, and purpose. Here's Find Your Flow. This is a way to, maybe if you don't have rhythms, this can help you find the flow. It can give you some ways of where your energy is. Give yourself where you need that space and things like that. So your non-negotiables, and helping you discover those as well. And then here is our Why Women's Bible Study. It's a journal, a faith-based journal. So this goes over, the scripture, observation, application, prayer system. So you can use this as you're going through, sharing your prayer requests. It's just a nice journal that you can keep that helps you, put sermon notes and all these kind of things. It's beautifully put together, and you can, journal the things that you're learning, the way God is talking to you as you spend time in His Word. Then this is just as a simple sheet. There's a bunch of different colors if you're not a pink girl like me. A daily focus sheet. So this will just give you, your top priorities, your plan of action to create those, some little notes that you can write in, maybe some quick to-dos, and your gratitude, and maybe, track your water, because your water is important. So it's very simple, basic one, but sometimes that's all we need, right? Just a simple way to track everything. And then the last thing that's in the bundle is the Brain Dump and Priorities Workbook. This is the one I was talking about. So this is going to help you clear the clutter, find your focus, and take the next step. And so there's some introduction about me, and then some questions to help you take care of it and all that. So I'm not going to teach on all those things, but I just wanted to make sure that I showed you just exactly what was in that bundle. And again, it's only $17. So I wanted to make sure that I shared a little bit of that with you. But the biggest thing is find that time to reflect right now, before the year gets crazy, before things spin out of control in December. Use these tips to help you reflect back on all those areas, so then what God is doing, how He's working, how He's moving, what's aligned with what you want to do. So asking yourself, what worked this year, what felt heavy, draining, or misaligned, and where did you see God's faithfulness? And I guarantee you, if you take some time to reflect this way, it's going to help you go through this season really well, and then step into 2026 with a calm, peace, and clarity. If all of this is just overwhelming and you need some guidance, you can always reach out to me. I do have some coaching available still that I have some special prices here through the end of the year that I would love to share with you as well. But don't forget to grab that bundle. Again, it's only $17, and it's only good through, I was going to say through tonight, but I might extend it a little bit longer. So just put bundle below, and I can send you the information for that. So friends, please remember that you are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you. Take care.